Chairs, please. Of course you may. Brave, sir, Daddy. Stand fast, everyone. Take that, you thorny bush, you.
Oh, my prince.
My princess.
You were meant to stay in there for a whole year. That was quite long.
Alright, what's going on? What's going on? My name is Ari, the Healing Empress, aka the Fly Goddess. And let's see what's going on in this energy.
Stand still.
Alright. Let's see what's going on in this energy. Alright, you got justice here. Straight off the rip. Right, then you got balance. Alright, so something is getting ready to be balanced out in your favor. Alright, justice is here. And the devil. Capricorn energy could be significant. Something could be balanced out when it comes to a parental, something about a parent. Somebody could be finding out something about a parent. Alright, but justice is getting ready to happen, whatever is going on. Alright, there's a rebirth here. Some sort of restart, rejuvenation, awakening. Something has come to someone's attention. Alright, about a pinnacle, about a new beginning, a fresh new start. Ace of Wands, there's a new beginning here. Alright, there's a seed that was planted. There was a seed that was planted. Alright, what's going on for today? Today's energy. Oh, that's a tower moment. You watching something burn? You're watching something fall apart. And you're not trying to save it, you're not trying to fix it. Alright, you could be used to trying to keep things together and you're just letting shit fall apart. Alright, you let shit fall like it's supposed to. Alright, somebody could be trying to rush in on some risk-taking shit, but you're just not on it. Alright, the Star and the Emperor. Somebody's being guided towards you, or you're being guided towards an Emperor. You could be moving, traveling. Ace of Pentacles is here. King of Cups. I'm right. Somebody wants to give you a genuine offer. All right. Let me see something. Can you keep up?
Okay, come with me.
All right. This is a man who's skilled by law and trade. He may be connected with a church or another institution. He is kind and considerate and willing to take responsibility. All right, being blessed with a good feeling or some type of offer of love, wisdom, emotional intelligence, and support. Someone may offer you assistance from a place of power. Oh.
Would you like to try? Yes, please. It's all slimy.
Making a cup on a potter's wheel is not easy.
There is an easy way.
All right, somebody could be helping you from a place of power. Right, this could be somebody who has some sort of authority to do such a thing. All right, it's turning a wheel for you in your life. This is a masculine energy. Put it on. The world is here. All right, something is closing. You have wrapped up a cycle when it comes to a masculine. All right, or something has started when it comes to a masculine. All right, there's some sort of love offer that's coming your way. All right, Queen of Swords is here. Queen of Swords. Somebody is taking charge, and somebody's standing on business when it comes to you. Somebody's planting some sort of seed when it comes to you.
Just make a dinosaur.
All right. There's a long term investment here, or somebody looks at you as a long term investment. All right. Strength is here. Somebody sees the strength that you have. All right. Somebody sees you for who you are. All right. Somebody knows that you were left in the cold. All right. Somebody who left you in the cold could be calling you too. Also, somebody wants to come towards you, bringing you some sort of love off. Somebody in their head, all right? Somebody know that you're moving forward. Justice is here. Six of Pentacles, all right? Being charity, being given to. Somebody's getting ready to give you something. All right, if you are interested in unlimited reads to the end of the year, all right? $30 for unlimited reads to the end of the year. All right, that means you can come get a read anytime you want to. All right, to the end of the year for $30.33. All right, if you want unlimited 2 years, it's $60. All right, but the first person, I'll give you 3 years for $60. All right, for unlimited reads. All right, the Empress is here. The Empress is here. Somebody want to protect the Empress. Somebody sees you in this abundant energy. Wheel of Fortune. Something for the change for you, Divine Feminine. All right, it's something in here for you. Spirit just wants you to keep standing in your power. All right, intellectual pursuit. Somebody is pursuing you. Somebody wants to pursue you. It's something you don't see. Something's getting ready to happen quickly. All right, Two Pentacles is here. Something's getting ready to be balanced out. All right, that's a tower moment here. All right, something is crumbling. All right, but something is building as well. So as far as somebody's being guided to do something. Nine of Pentacles. All right, so the Knight of Pentacles talks about a man who sets responsibility, hardworking, and trustworthy. All right, a transfer of wealth. All right, this person, all right, somebody transferring wealth. Somebody giving you something. All right, somebody is giving you something. All right, if you are interested in unlimited reads to the end of the year, all right, $30, Grand Rising Love. If you are interested in unlimited reads to the end of the year, all right, it is 30-30. 30-30. You are wanting 2 years unlimited is 60-60. All right, for years instead of 2. All right, for 60-60. All right, Empress here again. Something is definitely happening for an Empress. All right, things are turning in your favor. Spirit needs you to know that things are in your favor. Let's see. Let's see what this is. What's going on, y'all? Unlimited readings to the end of the year. 30-30. All right, if you're wanting 2 years of unlimited readings, it's 60-60. All right, first person, 3 years for $60 for unlimited reads. All right, you can get a read whatever you want. All right, that's a flash sale for one person. All right, multiple streams of income is here. More than one opportunity is available. All right, or it's opening for you. All right, if you're unclear about terms, make sure that you ask about missing details or something about missing details you need to look for. If you're confused about some sort of contract, do not sign it. All right, get a second opinion. All right, financial blessing is here. Unexpected support and provision. All right, securing the bag. Take the opportunity seriously and move wisely. All right. Workplace politics. Be mindful of competition, gossip, and agendas. All right. Yeah. Stay from that shit. Stay from that. All right. Partnership, deal, collaboration. All right. You could definitely be collaborating with somebody. All right. Whether it's relationship or business, you finna get paid in full. Something's finna be paid in full. All right. You're collaborating with somebody, and you're getting paid in full. This is a second chance at an old opportunity. All right. You could have felt like you missed this opportunity in the past. All right. Or you could have felt like it was a missed opportunity. All right. In the past. Let's see. All right, a trusted woman, success beyond measures. All right, so you finna get ready to have some sort of banging ass success, okay? This great success coming your way. Reconciliation, making amends from the past. All right, so you could be coming together with somebody from the past. All right, coming out of conflict, competition, and defeat. All right, and then you got fortune here. You could be seeing twos. You could be seeing fives. All right. This is an influential man. All right. So it has something to do with an influential man. All right. There's some sort of social event coming up. All right. That's gonna be good for business and romance. All right. Someone that you meet there. All right. So you could have met somebody at an event or a business or establishment. A very good friend, a long life companion, somebody you can trust. All right. Somebody who's trusted. Grand Rising, y'all. What's going on? All right. Unlimited readings to the end of the year. $30. All right. $30 for unlimited reads to the end of the year. If you are interested in 2 years, it's 60. First person, 3 years. All right. For $60. All right. The firstborn responsibility. All right. Pressure and carrying too much. All right, you could be carrying a heavy load at this time. God is getting ready to release some things. All right. Self-respect, standards, personal power. This card reminds you to know your worth and require proper treatment. All right. It can also represent someone who carries confidence and authority. Confidence and authority. All right. I do not lower my standards to be loved. Absolutely the fuck not. All right. Do not lower your standards to be loved. All right. A jealous side. Okay. So whatever this is that's getting ready to happen. All right. It's going to be a lot of jealousy and envy. All right. I release fear and choose what is secure. All right. Somebody may feel threatened when it comes to you. All right. The prophecy, a destined truth connection is unfolding. This card points to a relationship or a lesson that feels written, fated, and spiritually significant. Something larger is at work. All right. Not every intense connection is destiny. Discern between divine timing and emotional attachment. When it is meant for me, what is meant for me will reveal itself clearly. All right, let's see. All right, you could be leaving a stubborn person behind. All right, the kiss of Isis. All right, healing, love, and nurturing energy. This card brings softness, compassion, care, emotional restoration. It may represent someone who truly wants to love you gently. All right, love replenishes me, not drains me. All right, so this is something that fills you up. And this doesn't drain you. All right. Being chosen, valued, and adored. All right. I am worthy of love exactly as I am. This card reflects on mutual affection, admiration, tenderness, and feeling emotionally seen. All right. It could indicate a partner who truly values you. Aww. That is so fucking cute. These readings are amazing. I love it. Let's see. Jay, you on your phone? Huh? Jay, do you get a notification when I go live? All right, you walked away from a not safe situation. All right, you could have walked away from a not so safe situation. All right. Whew. It was no reciprocity. All right, equal energy is present. All right, so equal energy is present now. You're coming from an energy that it wasn't equal. All right, divine timing is here. A pause is for your protection, not punishing you. All right, you could have walked away from something. All right, or somebody. All right, so I remember who I am and why I'm here. Awakening soul purpose, identity, remembering your spiritual assignment. Something is deepening and returning to the surface. All right, something is deepening and returning to the surface. All right. Truth requires action. Once you know, you must act accordingly. All right, because you could have found out some information. The spirit is wanting you to act accordingly. All right, it's a gentle yes. Not every yes arrives loudly. All right, I am divinely guided by sacred forces beyond the veil. Divine contract, spiritual messages, higher guidance, the unseen realm. All right, maybe trying to get your attention through dreams, signs, downloads, and intuitive nudges. All right, you are not imagining it. All right, you're being called to your higher self. All right, and then I got arise from transform and renew. Sacred power is here. Rebirth, transformation, renewal, movements. All right, resurrection energy. If life felt stagnant, this is a representation of forward motion. All right, a spiritual comeback. All right, so things are getting ready to come together for you. I'm going to go ahead and end this read over here on YouTube. Is there anybody who's wanting a reading before I go? Donation readers are accepted as well. All right, have a good one.